In mind texting news.
Good sound effects.
You think so fast, but you can't keep up with your mind.
All the time.
Yeah. Wait, like your body can't keep up with your mind because you're thinking so fast?
Yeah.
But that's how I heard that's why people stutter, because their brain is too fast for like their tongue.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
That's why I don't finish my sentences, because as I'm saying it, I already wrapped it up and I'm like, I don't need to ask this question.
Are you ever writing with your hands now, but because of texts, you're thinking ahead of where your hand is, so you skip words?
Huh?
Oh, you skip words?
Because of texting made me fast, right? Like, and I can think about what I'm saying, but handwriting wise, I can't be as quick. So I always skip words when I'm handwriting now.
That's because you're dumb.
Because I'm dumb, right?
Probably because you're dumb. But I do the thing where I don't finish my sentences because in my head I already finished it.
Yeah.
Like I think everyone got the end of my sentence already.
It's like, you get it, right? Yeah, and then I'm like...
So I moved on and and then I watched the playback. I'm like, I didn't even finish any of my sentences.
In your cooking videos, that's the worst thing ever then.
Right.
The ingredients that we have, and it's done, guys.
You guys get it.
Fucking Nikki.
Well, you're gonna turn it on and then...
I do that with starting sentences. In my head, I already started it, and by the time I bring it up to someone, they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
No. Submitted by Fake Love.
Fake love.
Isn't that most people's love?
Yeah.
Well, that's sad.
Oh, yeah.
That is
that you
sad,
guys'
Nikki.
Yeah.
Not us. We got the real thing.
we get the real shit.
But we're special.
That's true.
The first quote-unquote social network of brains lets 3 people transmit thoughts to each other.
I don't like it.
I don't like people in my thoughts.
Me neither. Get out of my
Can
head.
I hear their voice?
I think that whenever I read comments from people, like when David has his captions, I read it in David's voice.
I always
like
read it in
hear David's voice.
I hear David's lectury tone. Every time I read
Yeah,
your
it's
Instagram,
true.
I'm always like, David is lecturing me
He
again.
writes it like he speaks.
Yeah.
See, the thing is,
The thing that you
period.
need to know, though, you really need to know, though.
I grew up with this kid, period.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. That's what all my friends say. They say you basically say stuff like you're telling somebody to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how they describe it. It's pretty accurate.
So this story here, they're talking about how they have now been able, like scientists have been able to figure out how to have 3 people communicate just only using their brainwaves. And so this is kind of what it looks like.
I want this.
No, because I like have Tourette's of the mind if I know that people like are hearing my thoughts. I'm like, don't say fuck, and then you know, like don't talk about dicks, and then I'll start thinking the things that I'm trying not to think about.
Yeah, because I can't have that because people will actually know what I think about them, and it's terrible.
For now, it's still very primitive. It's just like signals. So for example, here, what they did is like they're playing a Tetris game, and these people here, they can only see the top half of the screen, which will then tell the bottom half person, which is this person, how they should, either whether they should rotate the block or leave it as it is as it's falling down. And then, so these 2 people send a signal to this person to tell them like either rotate it or don't. And so they're pretty much playing Tetris like that.
That's fun.
Really
That's cool.
primitive right now, but imagine like how fast this technology could grow.
They only tested it with this group of people. These 2 people.
I'm not sure. Well, I just know that they've been testing it and that
Because some people are more intuitive than other people.
That's true too. But they were also doing a different type of game where it was like a 20 questions type of game, and then like they have to figure out what it is. Like it gets really scientific in the article, but it's just the whole point is that they've been figuring out a way to create like a social network of like mind.
But I need to know that they're regular ass pleb people, like not like some people like in 11 in freaking that show.
Yeah,
Stranger Things.
They already did a similar study like this, and it's fucking crazy how it came out. I might butcher this, but imagine like study group A is in Australia and study group B is in the UK, right? And then let's say in Australia they show this group like a picture or like whatever, and then in the UK more people that are a part of the study group can like recite the same thing.
They do that with the like men who stare at goats type thing.
I forgot that movie.
Can I ask who the
like that.
control group is? Is it like, hey, you guys, we gave you a pill. You now have mental telepathy. Go ahead. Yeah. And then 2 people are like, but there's nothing? Like, how do they test this shit?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh well, this one.
Yeah.
They use what is it? EEGs and transcranial magnetic stimulation.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like they're reading brain waves is the whole point. Like they're reading the brain waves, and through the brain waves they're sending these signals to these there's these flashing lights with 15 hertz or 17 hertz. So it's like different frequencies, and then that's how they're able to send those messages through the frequencies of the brain waves. Like I said, they get really
I
technical.
think this is something that already exists, like, and we're just figuring out ways in like medicine and science how to like identify and create it. Because if you think about like the ancient religions and shit, and like how they use meditation and how they control their brain frequency and all that stuff, like they've been trying to do shit like this. But it's not like magic. Like it's not like to the extent of like getting into people's minds and then them getting into yours, or like that fucking crazy. But it's more like the difference between when you are conscious and when you're on autopilot. So like, for example, like if you practice mindfulness or whatever, then you want to control your behavior. You want to control the way that you're operating. So then you don't go on autopilot. And sometimes you don't act like yourself when you're on autopilot, right? So when you're autopilot, you're just playing programs that basically you picked up, like habits, like your parents' habits or whatever. So when people go like, oh, you're acting like your dad. And it's like, what? What do you mean? Because they're on autopilot, right? So they're not focusing on how they're acting, so
It's
they're
like
emotionally
Click
reacting.
when he went on autopilot.
Like Adam Sandler Click? Oh, yeah.
The movie
yeah.
was sad.
I cried so many times.
Cried in that movie?
Yeah, I did, David, because
You
I'm a
didn't,
person.
David? Then you didn't watch it,
I'm
David.
a human.
First of all, I did too, because that shit was hella sad, dude.
Yeah, like when he's like talking to his dad, and then he's like, "Look at him."
The greatest part of that film, though, was in the rain scene where he just reached out and he gave the finger. You remember that shit?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I need to tell you something. I was like, oh, that shit had me dying.
But then he goes,
Yeah.
"Oh no," or this one. Anyway, but yeah, so this is pretty crazy.
Well, the cool thing is that dude, since growing up, like from having no internet to now where internet's everywhere, like I used to click on mouses and keyboards and all that shit, but now I just get so lazy. I'm like, I don't want to click on another thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this would allow you to just think about it. We could get even lazier.
Dude, my email started doing that. Has Gmail done that to you lately?
It's freaky.
I'm like, stop! You don't know me. You don't know the end of my sentence.
But then you're like, yeah, you
But
do.
sometimes it's right, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that one actually, that one's
that was
right.
true.
Because at the end of my email, it always says, fuck you, right?
Those auto reply buttons. Have you seen those?
Oh, yeah.
Do they fill in with like fuck yous?
No, they don't have.
For mine, it's like it's verbiage that I use. Like it'll say like, oh, that's tight or whatever. Like it'll say that. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was generic because I always use generic words like no problem or thank
Oh,
you.
maybe you're a generic ass bitch.
Yeah, you're very generic and basic. Yeah.
If you read my mind, you would know that there's nothing going on in here right now.
Yeah, because I thought they were generic too. Because mine says like sure thing, and I've never said sure thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, they started more generic, and then now it's like, whoa, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Do you think it knows where you're from? Like if you're from Ohio, it's like, well, he'll probably have some pretty generic shit. And then it's like if you're from California, he'll have generic shit, but he thinks it's like really creative and advanced, but it's just more generic.
Or maybe if I send it to the same person, because like a lot of the correspondence is with like the same people, and I used like kind of the similar responses. So it's like, oh, when she talks to this person, she says this.
Does it kind of creep you out?
Yeah.
How like they just keep learning us?
I still fill it out of spite. I'm like, no, let me do it. I don't like when things do things
Yeah,
for
but then
me.
this time next year, you'll just be letting it do it, and you'll love
I
it.
know.
You'll love it.
Oh, do you guys see the app that makes calls for you and books like appointments for you?
It's the new Google thing.
Yeah.
Google Assistant.
Google is doing all of this shit.
That's cool.
Just tell them, and the Google Assistant. Is it Google Assistant?
I think it was.
And they use intonations that are like humans. So they go, and they'll pause and they'll use a beat and then they'll sound like normal humans. And so the person picking up has no idea that it's actually just a robot.
That's crazy.
Next, they should have Google boyfriends. And like if
No.
you're really sad, not for you, baby, but like there's a lot of single girl, like a lot of my friends are like, I just wish I had like an intelligent guy to talk to, like just some interaction, you know, that's like deep. they just have like you program what kind of boyfriend personality you want.
This is Black Mirror, like happening in real life.
Right.
Dude, and if it gets really good, it'll have an intellectual conversation with you, and then 20 minutes later, it'll send you a dick pic because it thinks that you were having a really sexual, perhaps.
But then it might be like that movie Her, where he falls in love with the system, and like it's not a real person. That's really.
She ends up advancing so crazy that like
She leaves him.
Crazy. Wow. Did you guys hear, like, remember when Elon Musk went on Joe Rogan's podcast and then he was talking about this exact thing? Like, he thinks that AI is already the internet. Like, we're programming the internet to know humans already. Like,
giving me
the
chills.
internet's the one that's going to take over.
I think the internet
I
is
will
our
be
collective
dead by then.
consciousness.
Yeah.
So we are uploading everything.
All I know
That's
is
what it
I'm
was,
going to
yeah.
be dead. So good luck, my
How
child.
do you know, David?
You don't know, David. Medical advances are so advanced that you might live forever now.
David, it could happen in 3 years, dude. We don't know.
I'm going
Yeah,
to
and
be
then
dead
they're
in 2.
talking- Even he was saying it too, that I forgot what it was, but I think he was saying something like you could just upload your mind into like a cloud or something.
So they just found out that we can upload information into our brains.
What?
Yeah, bro. I read about it.
What? Like the Matrix?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for that.
So much easier than learning.
I know.
I bet you anything, we already do this right now. We already do this like when we die and our soul attaches on to the frequency that whatever you're vibrating on. So for example, let's say I'm an angry, fucking negative person, right? If I died at that state and my soul vibrates at that frequency, and whoever is having a bad day or depressed, I could enter that motherfucker.
I believe that.
I am high right now.
That's like
High as
what
shit.
ghosts are, I think.
Yep, I think so too.
Yeah.
And that's a collective cloud that people upload their shit in when
I'll
they
put it to
die.
you like,
Wait, ghosts are on the cloud now?
Yeah.
Shit.
They've always been the cloud.
been there. It's been there.
Whoa.
because if people are like this, they're like, oh, yo, what if AI takes over and they just, like that whole Matrix thing, right? Where they just use your body and your stuff. Who the fuck cares? Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
If I'm like locked up in this machine, they're just using my life force, and I'm like in this dream world where I could do whatever I want. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, you're like that bad guy in the Matrix.
Yeah, he's the steak eater
Steak
guy.
guy.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I fucking love the steak, man. Ignorance is bliss. I agree.
Right here.
Dude, I'm in Ready Player One, driving a DeLorean, talking shit to all my friends, while the world is a dystopian nightmare wasteland around me.
Yeah, isn't that even better when you do know, but then now you made a negotiation, and in that imaginary world, now you're like the
full
boss.
control.
You have all the stake, you have
You
all
don't care about
everything.
selling out all of humanity and shit?
No.
They're all locked up.
Humanity's in the world. They're uploaded with you.
I just want a world where I can look at somebody and just tell them I don't want to talk to them anymore.
You can still do that.
You can't do that.
How?
It's tough, but you can do it.
I do it all the time. I'm not very agreeable. So it's
We're gonna get to the point where we'll be like, man, remember before all the AIs took over our bodies and like created their own world?
Back before the nanomachine.
What if we are a simulation that's creating a second simulation? So our AI, we already are the AI, and we're creating another one.
That's an old theory already.
right?
well, if I'm a simulation, fuck my programmer then, because I've fractured all my ankles.
But he has a sense of humor.
Stop dislocating my shit!
He's like, I just take apart my player. Like every time he thinks he's gonna have a good time, I just stop him from having a good time.
Does he need his right ankle and his shoulder?
Dude, he's going to Hawaii and I programmed a storm in there.
I know. like literally, that's what's happening. He goes, watch. This guy has been saving up his whole life to have a Tesla. 2 semi trucks are gonna hit it. Like, fuck this guy, huh?
You shouldn't talk shit to him, David. He's about to take all your camera equipment again.
Just another wave.
He's just like you, what you would do if you had a sim.
It is you.
Yeah,
You aren't doing
true.
this to you.
That's what I did to my Sims. My Sims were the saddest Sims of all simulation.
That's true.